Welcome back. Imagine you want to display the word hello on the screen. You can easily do that with a simple print statement. But what if you need to display it 10, 20, or even 100 times? Would you really want to copy and paste line over line? Now, think about what happens if you need to change the message later, like switching hello to something else. You have to go back and modify each line individually. Sounds like a lot of work, right? Well, this is where loops come into the picture. Loops let you automate repetitive tasks by running the same block of code multiple times without having to copy paste as long as certain conditions are met. It makes your code cleaner, more efficient, and makes it much easier to maintain. While loop. The word while basically means as long as something is happening, right? So in programming, a while loop is useful when you don't know exactly how many times you need to repeat a task, but you have a condition to check. The loop will keep running as long as that condition is true and stop when it becomes false. Here's the basic syntax for a while loop. Here, as long as the condition is true, the code inside the loop keeps executing. Once the condition becomes false, the loop stops. Here's a simple example. Let's say you want to print numbers from 1 to 5. In place of condition, we put a simple expression or a logic which can return a boolean value that is either true or false. But for the condition to work, we first initialize a value for the expression variable. In our example, we want to print numbers from 1 to 5. So we initialize the count variable to 1 and put the condition expression as count less than is equal to 5. Inside our loop, we need to increment the count variable by 1. And lastly, printing the count. Now let's see how the code actually runs in the background. First, it will store count as 1. Then it will check while condition, which is count less than is equal to 5. And since count is equal to 1, the condition is true. Now inside the loop, we are printing count value, which is 1, and incrementing count by 1. Then the count will become 2. After executing this code, the loop will again start from the while condition. Since the count incremented to 2, and which is less than 5, the condition will become true again. Thus, the loop will run continuously until the count value becomes 6, which is not equal to or less than 5. And since the condition is false now, the loop will be stopped. Now you learn the while loop in Python. But always remember to update the counter or condition inside the loop. Otherwise, you might end up with an infinity loop. Next is the for loop. A for loop is used when you know how many times you want to repeat a task, or when you are working with a collection or a sequence like a list or a string. Here's the basic syntax of a for loop. In this, the variable takes the value of each item in the sequence one by one, and the code block inside the loop executes for each item. As an example, let's say you have a list of fruits, and if you want to print every fruit one by one, instead of writing print function for each fruit, a for loop can do this for you. First, we create a list of fruits with items as apple, banana, and cherry. Now for loop statement, where we take an iterative variable f. This iterative variable is which becomes the each item in the list when the loop is being executed. Then inside the loop statement, we'll simply print the iterative variable f. Now let's see how our code actually runs in the background. First it will store list of items in fruits variable, which are apple, banana, and cherry. Then the loop statement for f in fruits. Here, for the first time, the iterative variable f becomes apple and jump inside the loop, where we are printing f, which is nothing but the string apple. Again, the loop will start from the loop statement. But this time, the iterative variable f becomes the second item in the list, which is banana, and then prints the value. Likewise, the loop will continue up to the last item, and when there are no more to iterate, the loop will stop. We can also use a for loop with a range function to repeat a task a specific number of times. For example, if you want to print numbers from 1 to 5, here's how you can do it. For I in range 1 to 6, print I. The range 1, 6 generates a sequence of numbers from 1 to 5. The loop runs for each number in the range, printing them one by one. So that's a wrap on Python loops. Now you're ready to use both while loop and for loop to handle repetitive tasks in your code with ease. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and share it with your friends.